Oh, welcome to the third review of the evening. Up this time is Death Kid. Death Kid is a fast paced, arcade inspired arena brawler with meta progression. Wipe out hordes of daunting foes, master powerful abilities, and grow stronger with each attempt. Venture deep inside of a treacherous well to put the wheel of life and death back into motion and break the curse of immortality. Right. So this game was assigned to the Galax for review on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
this
go
is
for
a run-based meta progression, 3D or not 3D, but top-down
it.
beat 'em up type thing. The dungeon that you're in has 7 floors, uh, and each floor has different enemies that appear on it that have different gimmicks. Um, and as you play through it, you get experience that or skill points that you can use to either power up your existing abilities or get new ones. You will note one word that did not show up in that promotional work, which is roguelike, and there is a reason for that, which is that as far as I can tell, every run is identical. The same enemies spawn in the same order on each floor. Uh, Admittedly, how you approach it still changes. This pick up and throw mechanic is occasionally. Actually, there are some enemies that seem to exist only to be. I mean, you still have to beat them up and they can still hurt you. Or they can still. You can't be hurt. They can still hurt your targets. But if you beat them up, you can pick them up and throw them, and then they like explode. What are you doing, Patty?
Um, I
You have to use
oh,
your shooty power.
I thought I was meant to throw the rocks at it.
Yep. I don't know. Did you not get close enough to see the tooltip? But yeah.
Well, I was holding a rock when it
Ah. No, yeah, you got to use your beam thing. So, in addition to your 3-hit combo and 3-hit with a third hit slightly delayed combo, which is slightly more AoE, um, you have a dash, um, and yeah, you have a projectile attack that is super awkward to use because after your like first or second run, you get 3 charges instead of 1 before you have to charge back up. But still, it's a little bit slow, and you have to use the stick to aim, and you can't move while aiming. And honestly, everything that uses the shoulder buttons in this game, I found a little bit awkward. Um, and a lot of the unlockable abilities that you get involve using the shoulder buttons more. So honestly, I didn't get a lot of them. Also, after a few runs, you gain uh, a mode that makes you stronger for a period of time that you can use after beating up enough enemies, and a mode that makes your that makes your uh, success in the level progress faster based on beating enough enemies. So now that we've gotten to the actual thing, I can discuss this. So you have these 3 wisps that you're using to unlock the next floor. Um, they are what you need to protect. You are death, and you are Death Kid, and the cycle of life and death is broken. So you can't actually die, but when you get hit, you get stunned, which makes you lose control for a little bit. Though they do introduce a thing where if you like perfectly time a press after you get hit, you don't get stunned, and in fact damage things around you. So if you have really good timing, you'll be better at this game than I am. But yeah, your main thing is you have to it takes your 3 wisps about 3 minutes to break through the barrier, so you have to stop them from getting drained by whatever the monsters around them are. You do need to kill them, not just hit them. And those yellow guys are the ones that you can throw on this level. See what I mean? The projectile attack is just, it's slow.
Yeah.
You can upgrade it. There's an AoE explosion version and a pierces enemies version. Don't worry, it's extremely unlikely for you to win on your first run because you get taken to the reset run guide after you fail on your first run. I guess theoretically it might be possible to get to the second floor, but that's probably about as far as you can get. You do get to, so you don't get to choose your upgrades from a full list. Each time you get when you get to the end of a run and you get to the book that unlocks the things, you get a choice between a couple of kinds of upgrade for each particular one. Usually it's a choice between 3 straight linear power-ups or a choice between 2 new abilities or enhancements to your ability. Like the linear power-ups are just like you literally do more damage with your melee, with your special skills, or while in your powered up form, because you don't unlock the power up system until you have that. It's not super uncommon in run-based games for it to take like 3 or 4 runs for you to actually unlock all the systems. And then there is a story. Every time you progress such a certain amount or get to a new thing, you get to have a chat with your totally not suspicious guy who has the power to send you back to the beginning. So there is some lore there about how the world has had death stop working and you need to fix it, and you can't just keep going because those 3 wisps that you're using to unlock the thing are like the only 3 not alive but not completely dead souls you have access to. So yeah. The music is pretty good. It's action themed beats, which is nice. My main criticisms, I think, would be that the combat feel is not amazing. The dash is actually slight. I wish you could modulate the length of the dash slightly, since it's your main way to avoid damage. Also, allegedly, you can like do a dash combo, but I don't know if I've ever pulled that off right. Apparently, you're supposed to like. I don't know if that means you can continue a combo with a dash in the middle, or you like dash and then start your combo in the middle of it or something, but sometimes when I dodge, I end up, actually fairly often when I dodge, I end up further away than I want to. The range on the enemies that exist to be thrown and what they do isn't always super clear. Like in the first world, they're sticky and they stop things down. In the second world, they like implode in a vacuum and pull all of the enemies close to them. Also, once you unlock the experience system, you get the experience mostly, I think, by breaking glowing jars around the edge of the arena. While you're doing that, you're not fighting enemies and they are getting closer to or draining your things, which is not amazing. Going after those feels like it's actually a little bit contraindicated in terms of progress, as opposed to just getting experience from actually killing guys. And the only other main thing is that your base melee combo is a little bit uninspired. You only have the tap 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 combo and the tap 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 combo. There aren't any other ones. And then all of the other abilities involve using the shoulders, which when I'm already using the thumb for moving and the thumb for hitting buttons is a little bit tricky to you're going fairly fast between the face buttons too. And this game has nothing for customizable control inputs as far as I can tell. I mean, it's the Switch. You can customize them on a system level, but then you're stuck with those for all purposes until you get back to the main menu. I think you can customize them on a per game basis now, but still. So yeah, Petty just got the death mode, which is you get a sword and you're more powerful. I don't think you're actually significantly faster, but you can kill things faster. And the death mode does actually significantly change a lot of your unlockable abilities. Like one of them is like not a Hadouken, but like a short range force blast. It turns into a slash. Some of them bullet things get more intense when you're transformed. Yeah, I feel like being able to remap. I mean, part of it is the fact that you keep unlocking like new. Like I still, in the amount that I played, didn't unlock anything to do with the right trigger, and had just unlocked things to do with the right bumper. So I don't know. The things like the pickup button being face button north, and the throw being face button left, which is your attack button, but you have to hold it and aim with the stick. I feel like is not optimal. Also, you've got to be careful when you throw the enemies that exist to be thrown, because they have an effect radius, and if you're in it, you're also affected.
Fun.
So if you're like trying to throw the goop thing at an enemy that's near you, you get gooped. Or if you're trying to shoot the vacuum thing at enemies that are kind of near you, you get sucked in too. And I feel like the range on the throwables is not super obvious.
It's not.
Yeah. Also, the arenas, at least for the first 3 levels, and I don't think it changes based on the fact that you see the map of all of the levels, and they're all cylinders. It's not a very interesting setup to be defending things in a circle where the enemies exclusively come from the edges.
Yeah.
Etc., etc. So yeah, oh yeah, and break those pots at the top probably. That's where your experience lives. If you don't, it's funny. The first time I played after he sent me back, the guy got mad at me because I had gotten enough experience to get a skill point. I was like really? So yeah, it's not bad, but it's a little bit simple. It could be a little more polish. That said, if nothing else, I have not played dozens of games that have this same gameplay factor, or seen games that have dozens of games that have this gameplay factor in the last year, so it gets at some points for, I won't say necessarily originality, but being different than a lot of the things that are coming out immediately, you know? So that's something. Do you guys have any questions before I start asking about price?
I think I'm good.
Oh yeah, and you got, this time you got to about halfway through each wave, usually another kind of enemy that's more of a pain than the ones that are available at the start of the wave shows up, which in this level are those xenomorph looking spitter things. So yeah, what is the price on this one, Adam?
Well, as mentioned in between shows, but a bit of a price difference. On the Nintendo Switch, it's $9. While on Steam, it's $10. A bit of a reversal, but not a huge gulf here.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I think that's probably, as long as you're not looking for a game where the play experience changes dramatically on a regular basis, this could be a fun enough way to get some time. Oh yeah, you do get a little bit of knowledge about the enemies each time you get to a new floor. The wisps tell you some stuff. So yeah, if you throw that blorb, I guess they do usually explode after time if you don't do anything. It's funny because this doesn't actually seem to stop them from doing anything, but it does make it so you can get them all in your combo much easier.
Yeah.
And yeah, the guys with the shields, you're supposed to attack from the back, but you can just beat through their shields from the front if you have time. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a fairly simple game. Even with the different floors, there are different kinds of enemies, but there's usually like one that exists to be thrown. Although the third floor, I'm not sure what the one that exists to be thrown was. One that's kind of a pain, one that's a bigger pain, and then one that starts showing up partway through the level that's much more serious. And that's about what there seems to be to it. So yeah, if you want a game where you can spend a bit of time punching out enemies for a while, as long as you're not like super obsessed with making progress in a thing all the time, it's probably fairly fun. And I don't think $10 is too much to ask for it, though $9 is probably a better deal. I think that's about all I got.
All right, then. So that'll about do it for Death Kid. Be sure to tune in after the break as we review Atomine.